Good evening, gentle listener, and welcome to Distractible. This week, the host unveils his deepest dread for his fellow man. Wade pushes his mate through a filter and has beautiful synthetic boobs. Beardless Bob believes in credit card osmosis. And tech guru Mark is terabytely well hung and wants to get to the bottom of the matter. From acid semen to brilliant baldness. Yes, it's time for Microplastics Solved Forever. Now sit back and prepare to be distracted and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Distractible, the wonderful podcast where me and my friends, we talk for about an hour and then we leave you happier than you started. Hopefully, anyway. Unless there's something horrible that we've done and you are left with a bad taste in your mouth. I'm joined by my friends Bob and Wade.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Hey, doing pretty well. Post-moving, recovery of muscles. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I stub a toe, for some reason, the week thereafter, I continually hit it, that same toe, on everything. And I've had this poor, bruised, bloody toe that I just keep. If I hit anything, it's that toe.
How hard did you stub your toe?
Pretty hard.
I feel like I have almost never in my life stubbed my toe hard enough where it was broken or seriously bruised. I stub my toe and it's like, okay.
It's always my pinky toes, and I actually had 2 months of my left foot pinky toe being badly bruised, and it's finally feeling better. So then I slammed the right one, and I don't want to get too graphic, but it was bleeding, and it doesn't look great.
Were you wearing shoes?
Flip-flops.
You were moving in flip-flops? Well, that's your own fault.
It wasn't even the moving part that I hurt it on.
Oh, you were moving in flip-flops.
But that's not when it got hurt. It got hurt, just doing casual stuff where I was, in the house later, looking around. I was like, where do I want this? I don't know. And then I was I turned to walk to the kitchen. It was just chunk. And then, the tears formed. It was I'm okay. And then I looked down and I saw the blood, and just like a baby, I was like, I'm not okay.
I turned around.
And my toe got stubbed clean off.
I don't believe in toes.
Look, this is pathetic, and I will not award you any points for that. That's your own fault, and you should control your feet better, and you should control your life better. Get yourself together before and get something real to complain about. Bob, how's your life?
I was cooking and I cut a finger off.
Oh,
I'm missing that whole finger now. It's serious injury, Mark. How many points is that worth?
That's worth nothing. That was your own recklessness, and how dare you come to me complaining about your own finger that you cut off. You don't need it. If you didn't value it enough before, you didn't need it now, so hush.
If we're going to have an abusive episode, I'm glad it's at least fair.
Of course. We're always fair.
Fair is fair. Guys. Come on.
The triangle of fairness.
I never did find out if that means anything. I hope it does.
It means forehead vagina. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, whatever. It's all good. So, obviously, you guys' lives are boring and uninteresting, but mine is thriving with potential.
Oh, that sounds like a lie.
It's thriving with potential. Guess how much storage I have on my server?
80 jillion terabytes, I assume.
480 terabytes of beautiful storage.
That's more than you even need.
It's not more. It's more than I need right now, but it's not more than I need in the future.
You could shoot 3 more movies.
Exactly. And that's kind of the concern.
Well, how much footage is your next movie taking up?
Maybe anywhere from over 50 to 100 terabytes.
Sounds like you still have extra.
Yeah, it sounds pretty excessive, Mark, honestly. Yeah. No points for that. That's just ridiculous.
Well, whatever. It's
I've got some boxes. Can I store those in there? They'd probably fit in that much terabytes.
No, dummy. That's not how it works. No points for you. Anyway, listen, I plan for the future because I'm very intelligent and smart and also handsome. And when it comes down to me learning all this stuff about the server infrastructure that I set up in my NASs, I've learned so much in the past few months of just how amazing I am in every single way.
How many incorrect things did you buy before you got the setup you have currently?
Many. I wasted thousands of dollars on the wrong purchases.
Waste thousands of dollars finding ways for me to store my boxes in your terabytes. Where there's a Will, there's a Wade.
No points for you, Wade.
It's a very threatening aura towards Will, too. I just want to say, Will, don't worry about it. He doesn't mean it.
Where there's a Will, there's a way.
Well, here's the thing, everybody. It doesn't matter how pathetic your lives are or how amazing my life is, because we're all doomed.
Are we getting older?
No, we're not getting older.
Okay.
We're not even going to get older because we're not going to make it until then.
Cryptids?
Not cryptids, although those are lurking.
Bad diet?
Pretty much. You're getting closer.
Weird Part 4?
It could be.
The ship of Theseus?
Oh, it might just be something related to the ship of Theseus.
Candy Uncle!
No.
Mark's trolley problem?
No.
Euthanasia coaster?
That is a good idea. But no, we're going to talk about our favorite subject that has me worried, microplastics.
Ah, good.
Oh, let me just Google that word.
I'm 0.8% microplastics.
Maybe, mayhaps. Wait, do you not know? Do you not know about this?
Oh my god. Most plastics to the ocean break up into small particles are called microplastics. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wade's caught up.
I had hoped that you both would have like at least a base level understanding.
I'm with you, buddy.
Okay, thanks, Bob. Point for Bob for knowing a little bit about it before we get into the deep end.
What do you
Yay.
mean? They can cause in the body cancer, chronic inflammation, other unknown effects.
Okay, Zoidberg's uncle from the silent film era. They can cause in the body, effects, adverse even.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, so what makes me want to talk about this, and I know it's probably a depressing topic for a lot of people, it is a strange thing where it's this nebulous zone of health and humans and the future where we don't really know how bad it could be. We don't really know how bad it is because there really isn't a standardized testing for it. And we wouldn't even know what we're looking for in terms of the public health and the absurd consumption of microplastics that we take in our body. Now, there was a study, and this is, I believe the study was exaggerated or it selectively took information that said that humans ate about a credit card equivalent of microplastics. It was either every year or every month or something like that.
God, I hope it's every year.
It seemed to be exaggerated in certain ways, but there was another sensationalist article that said humans inhale a credit card equivalent of toxic plastic particles every week. Which seems less true because I don't think that we're breathing in that much in terms of microplastics.
Well, I published a study recently that states that humans absorb through osmosis a credit card's worth of microplastics every second.
Whoa, that's too much.
I just thought of a published paper I might write, how people absorb a brand new car for you and you made of microplastics every minute.
Wow,
Through osmosis, where you sit on it and it absorbs through your ass.
Osmosis.
You know, for all I know, that could also be true. I don't know enough, right? But that's never stopped us on this podcast. So today we're going to get to the bottom of microplastics. We're going to get to the bottom of what it's going to do to humanity, how much is in our bodies right now, and the conclusions of whether or not it's good, maybe, or bad. Is this the kind of thing that's actually going to give us superpowers? Or are we all doomed to be replaced Ship of Theseus style by microplastics until we're a walking plastic human that didn't know that it ever changed from who we were to what we will be? Could it trigger the next evolution of humanity?
Probably.
Okay, so I want to get to the bottom of this so everyone at home can either rest easy or be eternally paranoid. It's really up in the air of where we're going to be at the end of this episode, but we know we're going to reach a conclusion.
I will assume the side of pro-microplastics.
Bob is on pro-microplastics?
Wade is anti-microplastics.
All right.
I've already stopped them.
Okay, well, then we will determine the winner based on whether or not I feel hopeful or hopeless about the microplastics in our future, because they are here and it is very clear they are here to stay. So let's get down to it.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys pull up your internet browsers, get your researching thesaurus out, and get ready to get scientific about it. Because as we all know, all you need is a few Google searches to know as much about anybody about anything in the world. We have the wealth of the internet at our fingertips, so let's get to fingertipping.
Let me just lead this off by saying, in the second half of the 20th century, we officially entered the plastic age. A new era where plastics represent the majority of man-made materials. In just a few decades, this is the most confusing number they could have written. 8,300 million metric tons, also known as 8.3 trillion metric tons of plastics have been produced, and subsequent plastic wastes have been accumulating in the marine and freshwater environments, as well as in the earth and sand and dirt and everything in the dry parts. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It already is everywhere, and clearly we're fine. So I feel like my argument basically makes itself, but we could still have this debate if you want, I guess.
So what you're saying is that microplastics are here, they're everywhere, get used to it, right?
Yeah.
There's no point in denying them, so we just have to get to the acceptance stage, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, fair point. And you get points for that. Wade, counterpoint.
Look, carbon blocks faucet filters remove almost 100% of all known microplastics through a reverse osmosis filter. They can filter down to 0.001 microns, so it will remove all known microplastics. You'll no longer be drinking it. Just put everything through the carbon blocks faucet filters. Put your meat, put your drink, put your salad, all of it through those filters. No plastics will get through. I can almost guarantee it.
I appreciate that in the ability, but we're not debating how to get rid of it yet because we have not determined whether or not it is good or bad or what the effects are going to be.
Well, clearly, it's probably maybe bad.
But why?
Because they can lead to diseases and cancers in your body?
That's a good point.
A bold claim. What evidence do you put forth?
Yeah, what evidence do you have about that?
Some comment I read on a Google search.
Okay, I like that.
Everyone knows you can trust WebMD. They never exaggerate anything. Chemicals are known environmental pollutants like pesticides, fluorinated compounds, flame retardants, and so on. Once in the body, the chemicals in the plastics can be released, which is what leads to cancers, inflammation, and so on and so forth. So the chemicals breaking down from the plastics are what's harmful.
Interesting. So it's not the microplastics themselves that are bad, it's the chemicals that break down from them that are bad.
Well, and once they're in the body, there's not really a known way to remove them. So you got to stop them from getting in, which is where the filter comes in.
How do you put meat through a filter?
It's a fancy filter.
Can you make that noise but louder? Will, can you amplify that noise? And then you eat the meat?
You should probably cook it.
Everyone here is getting all worked up about microplastics potentially releasing off gas.
Points for Wade for that one. Sorry, Bob. I gotta give him points.
But look, they've been everywhere for half a century already. Like, what are we so scared of? There's plenty of stuff that was out in the world for a long time before plastic even existed that everyone was all worked up about, and it turns out it's fine, probably.
Like lead.
And paint and gas and like radioactive paint for glow-in-the-dark watches. All this stuff has turned out to be basically fine.
Basically fine. That is a good point. We do not have a storied history of other compounds causing problems for human health or the collapse of various civilizations around the world. So...
Plus, medical studies, that I'm not going to give you the name of, but that definitely exist, have found that patients with liver disease actually accumulate more microplastics and nanoplastics in their liver and tissues compared to people without liver disease, thus proving basically irrevocably that the human body knows how to filter out plastics. Because it does, unless it's unhealthy, but that has nothing to do with maybe the plastics, probably.
Right. So what you're saying is the unhealthy people aren't able to process their plastics correctly, and therefore they get sick. It's not the microplastics that are doing it. It's their unhealthy livers.
Yeah, that's definitely maybe what I'm implying.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. That's good. Points for you. I feel better already. My liver's healthy as far as I know, so I'm probably processing all my plastics and only getting the good out of it.
Well, hold on, time out. Not to throw you under the bus, but you can't process alcohol. What makes you think you can process plastic?
Oh, well, that's just...
Well, I'm not sick.
That you know of. You just were a week or two ago.
Not liver sick.
Yeah, not liver sick. That's nerve sick.
You know, microplastics and the chemicals can also affect your immune system, which make you more prone to other illnesses and diseases. Diseases. It's pronounced, it's French.
Diseases. Got it.
Is this a D's nuts joke? Are you walking me into something right now?
It wasn't intentional, but if you want it to be, microplastics would probably affect these nuts too.
Are you saying that microplastics have an effect on fertility?
I definitely am maybe implying it possibly, which I haven't read anywhere.
Is it a positive or negative impact? Will it make me hyper fertile?
It'll actually give you synthetic offspring because you're off. The plastics will be.
You could possibly have acidic semen that will eat through condoms. I haven't read that anywhere. I'm making it up.
Excellent. That's what you want.
It'll be like a xenomorph, but instead of the extra mouth coming out of your mouth, it comes out of your dick.
I'm deducting points. You were up, you're now down.
You should, from microplastics.
All right, so yeah, we got to get into the idea that it might be bad, it might be okay, but it might give you superpowers. So what if, okay, so just so we're all on the same page, I have done some research about this, just so we're all like on the same page here. The problem, quote unquote, we haven't decided that yet, with microplastics is not the plastics themselves as they currently are. It actually is a factor of what happens to the microplastics over time, in that as they erode, they are literally, plastics are just chains of molecules. They're kind of like fats in terms of like they have many long strings of chains of certain chemicals. But the problem is when they break down to a certain small size, they break up into little individual pieces that can then fold. And basically what it is like a self-folding, they get little knotted up, they turn into different things, and these can become analogs of certain chemicals that are in the body, certain proteins in the bodies, and that means they can bind to certain things on the bodies and have unknown effects. Like there are certain analogs from microplastics going down to a certain size that can replicate certain hormones in the body, theoretically. Now this is all random happen chance because it's all eroding, but random happen chance is how like we got here to this point where we are. So maybe the X-Men were caused by microplastics and it caused beneficial things.
I don't want to derail this whole thing because that is really good info. Did you say random happen chance? Like the chance of it happening? Is that a word I'm unfamiliar with?
I don't know what I said. I believe I said happenstance.
I swear to God, I heard happen chance.
I will make sure that do a replay, but make sure the replay doesn't make me look stupid, or else I'm gonna theoretically. Now this is all random happen chance.
I'm saying that I like happen chance. I've just never used or heard that used before.
Well, clearly happen chance is not a word unless that is what I said and then it is a word.
There's another Markism, another word you use in like In Space and Who Killed Markiplier and stuff.
No.
That I swear is not a word, but I've started using it.
This is not about my vernacular. This is about microplastics.
Someone help me. What is the word?
Who wants some microplastic points?
Happen chance is a word.
Of course it is.
Defined by Merriam-Webster. Oh, no, that's happenstance. But it's a synonym of happen chance.
Oh.
It's just a synonym. It is a word. It just means the exact same thing as happenstance.
Yeah, it's a word. Happen chance.
You're so smart, Mark. Knowing words.
Thank you. I am very smart.
Like I'm just saying, happen chance makes a lot more sense than happenstance. Nothing that ever happens by happenstance happens because it stood up. Okay, it happens because by chance it happened. It doesn't make sense.
It wasn't the power stance that was occurring when it happened. It happened because of chance.
I'm manifesting this into existence. This is my happenstance. Yeah, come on.
I love it.
God, you're so smart, Mark. Unbelievable.
Thank you. Hey, points for you. Many points for you, actually.
Can I have some for shaving my head yesterday to pretty up for this episode?
How are you not sure that your baldness wasn't caused by microplastics?
Because I paid someone to shave it and I watched.
What if your hair follicles are clogged by microplastics?
What if you just need to wash better?
What if you're not bald? What if you're just evolving?
When did you say the start of the microplastics or our plastic age was, Bob?
I mean, the back half of the 20th century is kind of like the plastic. Plastics came about in the like 60s, 50s, 60s.
Okay, well, I've got some old family photos from probably like before that. I don't remember. Like great-great-grandpa was also bald.
Oh, sure. Before that, yeah.
Well, I don't think he was young in like.
But he lived in the lead and uranium age, so maybe that's unrelated, but unrelated.
That was lead hair loss.
And actually, you know what? Microplastics causing baldness, I think, supports my side. So yeah, you know what? It probably did. Oh my God.
Okay, so you're saying baldness is a bad thing?
It is for some. Have you seen some people's head shapes? Not everyone is defollically gifted like me.
I have like a crease and I have a big mole on the top of my head. I would look, and it's dead center on my head. So it's not like a spot. It would be like a little target on the top middle of my head. I would look not great with a shaved head, and I'm deathly afraid that that's the direction I'm headed because my mom's stepfather was a bald man, and that's maybe that might be my future.
You just grow it down here and it distracts people from what's going on up there.
I can't! Do I get to grow a better beard if I go bald? Does it migrate? Because I can't grow a beard for shit right now.
I mean, mine started around that time, but maybe not everybody.
I haven't shaved in like 4 or 5 days. You can't even really tell. No hair grows here at all. No, I grow like a terrible little shitty mustache.
That's because of microplastics, maybe, probably.
Probably. It's almost definitely because, no, I mean...
Ooh, that was an incredible chess move. You just got Bob to admit that maybe microplastics might be bad. That's double points for Wade.
Woo!
Microplastics would never harm me. It's probably Wade's fault that nothing grows on my face.
Why is it Wade's fault?
Because his head is setting a terrible example.
Well, you're moving back to Ohio. You're going to be nearer to the source, the plague bearer of microplastics.
Yeah, well, if I'm bald in a year, then we'll all know that it's Wade.
We know with the amount of processed food I eat, I'm probably 90% microplastic at this point.
Yeah, that probably actually is probably true.
I mean, my tits definitely ain't real anymore. They're pure plastic. Microplastic.
I feel like that's points for microplastics right there.
Yeah, that sounds like points for microplastics.
Do you think they look good? Thanks, man.
You're going to credit those fabulous bazoinkers?
I'm willing to give Bob those points if it means I look good.
Well, so that's the thing, right? So the idea is that microplastics are dangerous because they can replicate certain hormones and chemicals, but we need to acknowledge the fact that there already are an incredible amount of chemicals and hormones just already in the supply. I think it was shown, speaking of boobs, is there was a study that was like in recent years, the average British bra size jumped from an average of a 34B to a 36D, which means that in I believe it was just 50 years. Let me see if I can actually get to the data of this. There was some indication that maybe it was just like a bra sizing error because a lot of people don't have the exact bra size that correct in what they wear. I don't know. I don't wear bras. But at the same time, a lot of people suspected that it was, quote, xenoestrogens, which in the UK, especially when this was occurring, there was a lot less farmland. So the farmland that they did have and the cows that they did have, they wanted to produce more milk per acre of farmage. So they gave the cows more hormones to produce and induce lactation in the cows so that they would produce more milk and then be able to produce more milk per acre. And therefore, the milk that they did produce had these hormones in them because they were being given hormones to induce more. And so when you have milk in the supply, in the food supply, you actually had a increase in breast sizes in the UK. Now, for better or for worse, there was also other factors that like earlier menstruation was occurring, and there's various like impacts to that. That is a legitimate thing that is occurring throughout society. And it's concerning because it's like we don't know exactly where it's coming from, whether it's hormones in the food supply, antibiotics, or chemicals just being everywhere, or microplastics, or all of these.
Are these of people that are all the same size? Because I think the trend over like the last however many years, also like the average weight of the average human has gone up too, which I think people's weight can be distributed either, like I get it in my stomach and butt, and some people get it in like their chest or breast, so on and so forth. Could that also, is that excluding that? This
is the tough thing about statistics and like studies like this, is because there are so many factors in like society. So how do you keep track of all of these different variables, and how do you create a reliable data set?
We Truman Show a whole group of people.
I love that Wade is going down the human experimentation route. Go on.
Look, human plastics are bad. We can prove it by finding volunteers that are willing to go live off their lives in the Truman Show-like setting where we can control these factors. We kind of like know going in, if they come from like a similar, I don't know, environment or whatever, we'll know that they all come from a similar background, probably had similar diets, whatever. And then you can control what they eat, how they sleep, so on and so forth, the air they're breathing, the quality of it. I'm not saying you intentionally pollute them. You don't do that. I think you treat them super well in the experiment. You don't treat them poorly. You have a control that eats like normal, average human diets as is the world right now. I got to fine tune it.
What I'm hearing is that the side of microplastics are bad is so willing to do whatever they can to prove their so far unproven principles. They would torture humanity by subjecting them to chemical experimentation and isolation from society.
I said the opposite.
You said to Truman Show them. That means a very specific thing.
Yeah, but treat them better, not worse. You give them better diets, healthier things.
Oh, okay.
But why do you need to film them?
Yeah. Why is it a reality show? How is that better?
Well, they don't... One, my entertainment, because I'm evil. But two, so that way you have proof of the fact that they're following the guidelines. They're not like going around eating couches or something stupid. I don't know.
Why would they eat couch?
I don't know what people do, man. They're weird.
My opponent has such a low view of humanity that he thinks they eat couches and do all sorts of This is clearly a person out of touch with the reality of the world that we live in today.
He could use some microplastics to even out. Wade, what if I told you that there was an entire system set up where you could have as many people as you want in individual rooms with locked doors where you can control their schedules and cameras observing their every movement. And it's just a few pesky laws getting in the way of you pursuing your experimentation on this population.
I just want to throw this out there in my defense. A quick Google search found in 2011, there was an article by Susan Donaldson James about a Pica patient. I don't know what Pica is, but Pica patients eating dirt, paint, sand, and sofas.
Pica is a disorder where you eat non-edible things. Pica. You have an insatiable urge to eat anything, including stuff you're not supposed to eat.
The cameras would prevent couch consumption because we would see.
That is a rare condition that, what percentage of the population is afflicted with pica?
Well, one in our experiment would throw off the results, Bob. All it takes is one.
Yep.
What if that person became the chef and they cooked meals and they used couch in the cooking?
All right, so you're still wanting to experiment on people.
By treating them better, to be clear.
Treat them better than what?
Than the average one of us dumbasses eat, like me. I eat like shit.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so are you for or against experimenting on prison populations? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Prison? I don't want to deal with them. I want normal people.
Whoa. All right.
Hey, you guys know my family history enough to know I've done my time with some of the prison populace.
I yield the remainder of my time. I just want Wade to keep talking.
Yeah, Wade,
like
keep going.
My job
keep going,
for me.
Wade.
I want average people.
Average people, okay. The Wade thinks prisoners are not normal people, not average people.
Are they above average or below average, Wade? How do you...
You guys are trying so hard to bait me into some shit.
We don't need to do much here.
Look, can I just say that none of us are scientists, okay? It's not inaccurate to say that we don't understand the impact that microplastics have and nanoplastics on the environment and on human health. It seems pretty self-evident to me that that's bad.
Aha! My opponent yields to me!
Yeah. Hang on. Hang on. Self-evident that it's bad, but that does not mean that it's proved conclusively to be bad. And this is not a debate about the truth. This is a debate about who is correct. And based on the information we have, I'm correct. You can't prove anything. I'm like the cigarette lobby from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, but you can't prove it's okay either.
I don't have to prove it's okay. I just have to say that we don't know.
Would you rather be safe or sorry?
Safe from what?
The possible bad effects that microplastics can cause.
Hide in your homes. I'll protect you. Never go anywhere or do anything. You'll be safe. Yes, that's what people want.
I would do that. That sounds great to me.
I have from my research right here, from the very peer-reviewed, the prodigious, what is the right word for it?
Prestigious?
Prestigious, yes, the prestigious reporting outlet of another podcast called I'm not going to give their name. The title says microplastics are giving babies superpowers.
Great, that sounds awesome. Let's not read any of that. Just take that at face value.
I just so according to the prestigious reporting firm of the Millennials, microplastics are giving babies superpowers, and I feel like that is really cool. I've seen that clip from The Boys where the baby shot lasers out of its eyes. I think we can all agree that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick.
That is a fictional show that has nothing to do with microplastics.
What do you mean? I'm just giving a reference. Having superpowers. So the reality is microplastics are giving babies superpowers. The example that I have is that was pretty dope. Of course I'm not saying The Boys are real. Okay, all right then. You got me. Checkmate with that. But that's not what I was saying.
Okay, that scene was dope. The actual implications of like what superpowers is also, as seen in The Boys, can be very bad and negative on the world.
Okay, well, whatever.
Look, if Hancock taught me anything, it's that superheroes are just misunderstood and it's not their fault.
Hancock.
Hey, there's no D in there. Hancock.
Hancock.
Nope. Wrong. See?
For the case against microplastics, there's another article here that was published on this doesn't seem legit, but the National Library of Medicine.
That sounds made up. I don't know about that.
Yeah, that sounds very made up. Microplastics may be a significant cause of male infertility.
Well.
Yeah, no studies examine the relationship between microplastic exposure and male infertility. In this article, we reviewed the relevant animal experimental research literature in recent years and calculated that the minimum human equivalent dose of microplastics leading to abnormal male semen quality is 0.016 milligrams per kilograms per D. Dick. I think per dick.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, so that doesn't seem like a very big number. So, the minimum dose is not a very big number.
Small number, good. That's all I have to say about that. Yep.
Yeah, golf rules.
What I'm gathering is we don't know, but they're probably, at least some of them, not good. Maybe not all of them, but at least some of them are probably not good. And overall, there's a lot of fear of the negatives they can have and not much about positives. That's what I'm gathering from this.
Oh, this article has some interesting information about how much we actually consume. So earlier in this episode, I said that we might inhale a credit card's worth of microplastics per week. This says, per day. Okay, so people inhale 360 to 150,000 microplastics at 270 nanograms per kilogram per day of polyethylene terephthalate microplastics and polycarbonate microplastics. And then we food and water intake about, I can't be right, it says less. I don't know if we eat less than we inhale. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
That would be an interesting revelation. Breathing a lot of plastics in. That's probably not a big deal.
Anyway, there's a lot of information saying like it causes a severe drop in testicle size, sperm count.
It just makes your pants fit better. You need way less room in the boxers down there if you have less package to worry about, and that's just for comfort, really. It's just an evolutionary progression.
Bob, are you getting low on copium? Do we need to send you some?
I gotta give Bob a point there. That's a great point. I hate it when my pants bunch up. That's really inconvenient.
No, I have huge balls, and man, is it tough to find pants with enough crotch room. I need more microplastics. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm so glad the skinny jean era is over, because I couldn't fit my massive testicles in all these skinny jeans.
Unbearable. Give me my Jinkos back.
Yeah, so they're saying things like decreased sperm motility, decreased sperm density, increased sperm malformation rate, sperm damage, destruction of the blood testosterone barrier, spermatogenic cell apoptosis.
Yeah, fuck all that negative stuff. Smaller balls.
Yeah, convenience, okay?
Convenience, yep.
Can I just say, I hope it's apparent I'm doing bit. I'm taking the side. I think that's apparent, right? No, I mean, I really believe all this, but
good. Deduct points otherwise.
Yeah, don't deduct points. I find it just crazy when scientists and researchers are like, well, look at all these chemicals. They look like they could do other chemicals. And look at all these weird changes that kind of correspond to levels in chemicals rising or whatever. And then people are just like, but you can't prove it. Where's the proof, nerd? Where? And it's like, I mean, it's coming. Maybe when people start to die, then we'll have some proof. I don't know.
You know what it reminds me of is there was that, I don't know, some town hall or some city council meeting in some city, and it was people talking about, like, I think fracking was causing, pollutants in the water supply. And all the politicians have been like, it's not a big deal. I drink the water any day. And then the guy comes in with a glass of water from the local river or...
That looks like sludge. Like it looks like a glass of diarrhea.
You could see in the low-res video the particles floating in it. And he holds it up. He's like, here you go. Drink it. And the guy's like, I will not drink that. Drink it. And I was like, I'm not going to drink that. Then you agree that this is not drinkable. And they're like, no, I don't agree with that. Then drink it. No, I won't drink it. And it's like, It's just the loop of thing is like, yeah, sure, you can't prove that drinking this is gonna be terrible for you, but you don't want to drink it, do you?
Oh, I'm just not thirsty.
I just drank like 5 glasses of that before we came out here for this.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you won't be able to have any drinks during the session. So I'm drunk. I'm all drunk out.
Do you remember the people that were like fighting to let people drink raw milk, like unpasteurized milk? Like people should be able to drink it. So they finally passed a law that was like, yeah, we can sell raw milk. And so they drank a glass of raw milk to celebrate these 2 people. And it was on video because it was like some news article thing. And then for the next like hour and a half, they were just on the couch being like, oh God, because they just like were so unbelievably sick from drinking the raw milk. They're like, just like unbelievably ill. It's just like, why were you fighting so hard for this?
But again,
Why?
I being on the side of microplastics, you can't definitively prove anything. Plastics have been around for more than half a century, and it's impossible for science to say what specific effects the plastics have had, because all the other stuff.
Well, go eat some credit cards for us, Bob, live on Distractible.
I don't have any credit cards with me. I use Apple Wallet, it's all in my phone, and
eat your headphones.
These are made of metal, actually. They're very fancy. So they're not, that wouldn't be the same.
Oh, wow, they look like they've got some plastic. That's crazy, okay.
No, metal. There's some graphite or graphene, I forget, in there. It's a cool thing. Very fascinating technology. Thanks, in large part, or maybe in no small part, hard to say for sure, to plastics. But they're not made of plastic, so I can't eat them. And this is cloth. That's not plastic.
Right, of course, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as much as I think it's insane, I'm still winning the debate, right?
Oh, absolutely. You are actually in the lead. I won't tell you by how much. It's a very close game. So I will take just a few more arguments here. So Wade, Bob has been sweeping right now, just in the last few minutes of dominating the conversation. I'm so in the favor of having better fitting pants. The other things he said, but if you have anything to say that microplastics are bad or whatever, that's your chance.
Yeah, so those whole plastics maybe picking up or contain chemicals that are bad for you thing, I'm just going to keep harping that point. I've spent a lot of my life hating cancer and trying to fight cancer, and things that cause cancer seem bad to me. And if microplastics are possibly causing it, I don't really feel like I need much more. And even if it's not technically fully proven, it's got a correlation, and that's enough to make me go, I don't think I want any more, thank you.
Oh, you want correlation? Everyone who's ever breathed in oxygen has died. Every human who's ever breathed in oxygen has died or will die within their lifetime.
Some more painfully than others.
Definitely. Also, I just want to say, during the course of this episode, if my opponent is so against microplastics, why are you drinking a bottle of water made up of microplastics?
Well, because I bought it, I don't want to waste it, and even though I've regretted every sip so far, I'm also not the brightest. I live under the do as I say, not as I do mantra, because, well, I'm an idiot.
Boom! I won the debate!
Yeah, he won the debate.
I proved nothing and have made no case that microplastics are safe or in any way good for anyone, but I won the debate.
I don't even remember what he was saying most of the time.
On this particular podcast, I feel like that's true. You might have won the debate.
I would say on almost any podcast where people are debating for spectacle and entertainment purposes, serious topics such as microplastics or perhaps health topics and important medical things, that winning a debate in that context is almost meaningless as compared to real published scientific research with verifiable and repeatable results. But I won this debate, bitches!
To give some credence to you, Bob, I suppose.
Oh?
I was looking at an article, a detailed review study on potential effects of microplastics and additives of concern on human health on the National Library of Medicine website. And ultimately their conclusion is it's not super well known how toxic chemicals desorb onto from microplastics, but there are plausible mechanisms like hydrophobic interactions, pH variation, so on and so forth. So they can't really definitively say how good or bad they are, but they tend to say with a cautious attitude of they're probably bad, but there is not exact evidence right now.
No evidence. You heard it from his mouth, folks.
I couldn't believe it. Not only did Bob claim the victory, but Wade gave the victory. He surrendered. The microplastics are making my brain not work quite right. I can't think of the words.
Yeah, they're very bad for your brain.
By pure happen chance, you can't remember the words.
Look, to be honest with you, I'm really tired. I've been moving and I don't want to think of a topic, so I'm conceding.
Conceding.
Hey,
that was it.
word.
That's what I was looking for.
Hey, how many points for that?
None. All right, well, that concludes the microplastic debate. With a sweeping victory, Bob has launched himself into the stratosphere of victory, riding upon the chemtrails of microplastics, the pure, clean microplastic energy that is exuding from him just really launched him into the victory circle. So congratulations, Bob.
I was sure he was going to sweep that away from me somehow.
I was too. I feel like he should have as well.
What do you mean? No, microplastics are good and everyone should eat more.
No, that's not what we decided.
Eat your bowl of plasties every morning with your favorite plastic superhero.
Wait, don't misquote me now. I said you can't prove they're bad. Just because we know anecdotally that they're bad and have a lot of evidence that they're bad does not mean that it's proven. And thus...
This sounds like he's conceding the victory.
No, I'm not conceding anything. There's nothing to worry about, probably. Unless you worry about potentially harmful things happening to you. But only idiots worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry, you'll get shingles.
Yeah.
And then your liver will stop working and you won't be able to process all those microplastics properly.
I feel like anybody that had an IQ that was a positive number that listened to this episode probably will regret it by now.
Aren't all IQ values really absolute anyway? So if you just keep diving negative, eventually you'll come out on top.
Sure.
I thought so.
Yeah, let's go with the winner speech.
Well, I'd like to start.
No, wait, shut up.
Okay.
Shut up.
Oh, I thought you were about to do the handshake deal that we had. You're welcome to it.
What?
Oh, no.
You've been here the whole time. We couldn't have made a handshake deal today.
I didn't think so. Anyway, winner speech, Bob.
Yeah, no, it feels good. I feel a little bit like Aaron Eckhart's character in Thank You for Smoking. But you know what? Darn it, I won, and that's really all that matters. At any cost, a victory is a victory, and boy, does it taste good.
Politics.
All right, Wade, loser speech. How do you apologize to all of the microplastic companies out there?
I guess you can find me being put into a hole with chemical waste and deposits and such. Maybe I'll be a microplastic going into your food, water, or nose here soon, whenever I'm disposed of for trying to protect you all from the harmful effects of microplastics. So see you soon, or be in you soon. We'll find out.
Oh, that's way worse.
That is concerning.
Oh, now you're concerned. Well,
just you. Anyway, so thank you everybody so much for watching. If we ever need to make any more disclaimers than we have in this episode, that this is all very serious, and obviously we believe in everything that we've said 100%. Without question, you can rest assured that whatever the truth is the truth, and we believe in that.
As scientific non-experts, we gave you everything we had in the best and most honest way we could present it.
That, what he said.
Probably.
I thought of a title for this episode. We can call this Social Media Facts.
No, microplastics are us.
Hmm.
Because they are us.
This episode just feels like how information spreads online in 2023.
No, this isn't us trying to analyze that at all. What do you mean?
And before an excerpt of this is quoted on some crazy conspiracy podcast with them being like, see, everyone's talking about it.
Well, my dad works at Microplastics, so therefore what I say is fact.
I see what you did there.
I don't. What'd he do?
His dad works at Microplastics. He said he has a dad.
Oh, that's a good one.
Happy belated Father's Day, everyone.
It's like weeks from Father's Day right now.
You don't know.
Anyway, hope you all have a lovely day out there. You've got more information than you started this episode, and you probably have less worries. So thank you so much. You can find Bob and Wade at their respective channels. Find them. You got this.
You'll find us by happen chance.
Merch is, we're going 100% microplastic on our merch, so look forward to a new restocking. Have a lovely day. Be sure to follow the podcast for more amazing, insightful scientific information. We have been Distractible podcast out.